Hello, 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 and welcome to the Misdemeanor, everyone. How are you all doing today? Hope you all having a fantastic day. It's time for some pirates, some found family fun. Fun place. I got my caffeine. I haven't sipped it yet. It's gonna hit, and it's gonna hit hard. Okay. Seeing the audio levels, pretty good. Brett needs a dance emote. Oh, you mean Brett you dance? Or Brett you wobble? Absolutely got it. Enjoy. Brett needs to dance for his birthday subathon? Are you... What? No. No. I'm muted. Also, okay. Let me go and say hello to everyone. Let everyone know I'm unmuting. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hi.
What's up? What are you laughing?
Nothing.
What are you laughing about? What are you laughing about?
I was about to do a deep dive on everything that Laura needs to get chickens.
To get what? Excuse me, what was that word?
Chickens.
Oh, chickens.
Yeah.
I thought you said chickets, and I'm like, what is that?
You know.
Chickens.
Chickens.
Yeah, I have thought about chickens. Stares at Masae. You can't say the C word in front of Masae. She'll lose her freaking mind. Hey, question. When you guys were talking about chickens, did Masae cluck at all? I'd like to inquire.
Yes, actually.
She did? Okay.
Running under the bus.
Just you can't show Masae a chicken. You can't talk about chickens, otherwise Masae will cluck a little bit.
Why are you throwing me under the bus, Dodger?
Wait, this is the super realistic cluck, right? It's like it actually. It's not like bok 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 bok. It's like actually it sounds like a cluck, like a chicken.
Like, what are you talking about, Masae? Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, she can't help it. I mean, it's a.
Is there a chicken in this chat?
Hold on one second. Okay. Tighten that up. There we go. All right. Let me go ahead and get the display ready to go, and then we can go ahead and play some Dungeons and Dragons. How does that sound?
Wahoo! Wahoo! Did you guys know that Shane's mom is a martial arts master?
Yeah, we just found that out.
We just learned that today.
Really? Oh, that's cool. Wow. Wow.
All her life.
Shane's
She
mom
ran to school
can fuck
too for
you up.
years.
Official.
Don't mess
She
with
absolutely
Shane.
could. She has weapons in her house, like martial arts weapons.
Yeah, but in America, who doesn't have weapons in their house? Let's be real, okay?
But there's a difference between having like the legit weapons and like, you know, a sword from the Renaissance Festival.
That's true.
Yeah, if she pulls out a sword or like a pair of sai, she's gonna mess you up. Nobody
yeah.
around her house.
Amazing.
Yeah, I had a friend in high school who was bragging about how she had to like register her body as a weapon for something, and I was like, that's the coolest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
Right.
As like a 14-year-old, I was like, what?
Hope you guys are okay. My mic's gonna be always on because sometimes my mic does not pick up voices or little sounds or things like that. So if, like, something is quiet and like whispering over to you, sometimes the mic doesn't pick it up. So I hope you guys are okay with my mic always being on, and you're probably like hearing a fan right now. So it's
I do not hear
That's
a
all
fan.
good.
because it is because it's Florida and it's hot out here. So that's
Florida have good boba places.
yeah.
Boba.
Yeah, Central Florida, I would
Boba.
imagine has that. Yeah, I actually haven't checked in the area. I mean, I haven't checked for boba. I don't know, but I'm assuming there'd be some good boba places. But we'll, I don't know. I haven't checked in my new area. So shrink that down, lift that up, and there we are. Hello. God, I love looking at the screen of just all the characters that are all in the active campaigns. These down here are,
Everybody's here.
yeah, these down here in this row, in the bottom row, are inactive currently. But everyone here is active. And I just see, yeah, and just in case, just in case you didn't know, these are in order of the day of the week, as well as all of the campaigns. So we've got Nova Hellscape, we've got the Mainframe of Atlas, Goblins of Io, Spire of Euclid, the new, as you see, with Mr. Layton up there above you.
Oh, I miss you, Dad.
So close.
Shadow of Asmodia, and then finally with the only person with a toxic symbol, and I won't change it. I won't.
Thank you.
I won't
You have
change
to
it.
leave it there.
Yeah, is our misdemeanor.
It hasn't
crew.
changed.
So, yeah, it's all over the place. So it's really nice just
Hey,
starting here and seeing everything.
Hey, what's happening to this guy? Looks like he's about to die.
Yeah.
Yes.
Health-wise and visually.
Oh yeah,
Looks,
yeah, because the hit point bars
looks
stay
a little
around.
hurt.
Yeah,
You can
they
see
just
who got messed
This
up
guy.
last
Huh?
They
session. so.
they just
Yeah.
they
Can
just
I
Homer
self-plug
Simpson?
yes.
Because I'm
Yes.
excited.
I mean, his name is Eric, but that was the art style that Mr.
I assume that's
Mr. Russ
Russ's
Money.
character.
Yeah, Mr. Russ
Yeah.
Money decided, and I went okay, and it works. It works out so well. Pio will cast what's the spell? Like enlarge flame, or I forget what it's called, to just like make fires bigger while he's holding a torch. So I always just like dramatize that the torch just flares up, and then he gives like the Homer scream, because it's like, ah! Like I could just imagine it as the torch flaring.
That's hilarious.
So that's the way I see it. But no, he's
Can I self-plug because I'm very excited about this?
oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
Tom made me draw his character. I'm very pumped.
Oh.
I was so excited.
Yeah, it is. That is Tom's character.
That's me.
over there.
I
Yeah,
did that.
Masay drew
Oh,
that.
that's awesome.
I was so excited about it. I've been sitting on that for months.
Oh yeah. It went very well. So yeah, last night was the first session of Shadow of Asmodia. Highly recommend you check it out. Gerard as Layton, lovely as always. Everyone was really good. It was a good old spooky time. It was definitely had big spook vibes. So if you're looking for something a little more spooky on Fridays, Shadow of Asmodia is where it is. If you're looking for wholesome found family and good feels, well, you come to the right place, because that's where we're at right now.
Yay!
So,
Yay.
Pirates.
Yeah.
Pirate.
okay. I gotta get. So last we left off. You guys ready to begin? You guys nice and
Yep.
comfy? Got your drinks?
Absolutely.
Got your
Yeah, let's do
got your coffee? Got your blankets? Who's got a blanket
Got
right now?
tea.
Nope.
No
I
blanket.
don't.
Not a
I
single.
have one next to me, in case I get cold.
That doesn't. Yeah, I guess that's.
I have a heater pointed at me because it's cold in this room.
I live in Arizona.
I was like a heater. God, I wish. I'm like.
State as a heater.
I was say I definitely have like the back sweat going on from humid Florida, so that I would love a cold room.
I'm in a basement, so like it just naturally gets colder in here than the rest of the house.
So here's the thing, right? I don't know the laws of basements because I've lived in Florida my entire life, which means
Right.
no basements. Otherwise, you hit sea level. The moment you start digging down into another room, it's just
Oh.
yeah, because you're just
Right.
It's fascinating.
I don't know
Yeah.
why, but I will always find that sort of shit fascinating. Like in Los Angeles, there are no basements because if there's a bad enough
Earthquakes?
earthquake, you might
Yeah.
get stuck there. Yeah.
yeah.
But I grew up my whole life with a basement,
Basement,
so
yeah.
I thought it was super strange when I moved to California.
Nope,
Mhm.
no basements in Florida because we've got ocean on the left, ocean on the right, which means if you dig far enough, which isn't that far, you hit sea level, and so you
Whoa.
can't.
A lot of houses here have basements because of tornadoes and stuff. So
Yeah.
Mm.
I would
It's so
love.
hard to imagine tornadoes being real. It's
Yeah,
so
I've
crazy.
never seen one. There's like no
I've never
natural
seen one either.
disasters in Arizona.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Arizona's
There's no
pretty
earthquakes.
peaceful.
There's no tornadoes. There's nothing. Of course, there's
My-
no flooding.
My favorite thing. I realize tired time. My favorite thing about. Ooh, I'm getting that atmosphere going for you guys.
Nice.
Great,
My-
thanks.
My favorite thing about Florida is, and since I've lived here my entire life, is we get hurricanes. And so whenever a hurricane comes, it's like, all right, we just get ready. But everyone else outside of Florida is like, oh my God, like, are you gonna be okay? Are you gonna be all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be. It's fine. We're gonna be fine. All the houses are typically built to be impenetrable to hurricanes because this is my life. Yeah, this is where we live. You know, so
Mhm.
I haven't seen a hurricane. In fact, the only time a hurricane hit my area, I was in California at the time. I was living in California for 2 years, and I came back, no more hurricanes. So I think I scare the hurricanes away. I think
You're
that's
the deterrent.
Nice, nice.
I think I spook hurricanes away. So
Good power.
Yeah, isn't like a hurricane coming up completely like circling around Florida but not hitting it?
It always does. So these past couple of years, what's been fascinating, and then we'll begin. But I have found this really fascinating. It keeps like all the hurricanes keep going under Florida and then up the Gulf. And then people are like, "Oh, it's a category 1, it'll be fine." But the Gulf is like hot. It's like it's got warm water which strengthens hurricanes. So it'll be like a category 1, it'll go through the Gulf and then become like a category 4 or 5 and then hit Louisiana or hit North Florida. And these past couple of years it's just been following the same pattern of going under Florida, going through the Gulf, and then going straight through the country. So yeah, it keeps going around us. It's so wild, fascinating, but also dangerous. All right. With that, let us begin today's session of the Misdemeanor. Last we left off on the previous session, you all have defeated an ancient abomination, this crude construct that collects the corpses of fallen individuals, what you've discovered. Corpses that were placed upon this construct's back were that of former students that had, quote-unquote, gone missing. As you descended into the depths of the headmaster, funny enough, the headmaster's basement, you faced off against this in the hopes to look for papers of Aelis's papers, adoption papers, so that Aelis could be free from the, not rule, but essentially be free from like the parental responsibilities, I suppose, or the parental rights that the Exodus Academy currently has over Aelis, being an adopted student, adopted individual. Kind of a couple of other things, and along with your ally that you just met, a student by the name of Aelith Malcolm. He found a book that he had been looking for and seemed to have had some attachment to. In addition to that, I believe one of you, Zahani, you collected a metal head. Is that correct?
Yes, that
Okay,
is
so
right.
You are in possession of a metal head.
Sahani is also the one who's carrying the gem with all of the students' souls in it.
Yes.
Oh, so Zahani.
Oh.
I thought Malcolm was holding on to that. Zahani, are you holding on to that currently?
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember
picked it up because
Zahani was the one who was like, I've held on to things like this before.
Oh, okay.
Remember that whole convo?
Yeah. I kind of remember it. I remember now. Okay, cool. Sorry, I have to get all my mental notes. Great. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on.
And
Okay.
Kyron picked up a book that made everybody
Has nothing to do
stupid.
with anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a book. She just wanted it because it hurt her. So she's like, I'm taking you.
Got it. All right. And with that, you departed from the school. You got onto one of the final airships departing from the Exodus Academy, and now have arrived at the airship's location, which is also where you were looking to go next. You are now currently, after landing in the lower quarters, Kingdom Brisbane. So, Here in Brisbane, the streets themselves are cobble in nature, especially the lower quarter, filled with a lot of people exploring. Constant work being made at the wall that surrounds the capital city of Brisbane. The only way to access Brisbane is either by airship, which one of the airship docks had dropped you off here, or over by a ferry that goes over the Brisbane Lake, the main lands of Ishtar. The Kingdom of Brisbane is known for a little bit of fishing village, but it's also where the castle, where Lord Brisbane, I believe the 12th, currently resides and rules, alongside with his Archmagister, the former headmaster of the Exodus Academy, Gloria Kronos, now Archmagister of Brisbane, and Guardian to Alis. You arrive here because Alis, you are currently looking for the Cartographers Guild, hoping to potentially join, and this would be the location that you would do so. All right. So, ooh, give me the music. All right. Landing and arriving. Yeah, you're free to do what you wish.
Is Malcolm with us?
God, I was literally dragging him in, and then I just totally forgot. Hello, yes, I'm here too.
Yeah, I was kind of tight.
Oh, he's yes, hello. Done
Thank
taking
you for
a
the
leak.
immersion.
You got distracted, huh?
Well, it's been quite some time since I've been here in Brisbane. What do we...
Keep up.
He scowls at you a little bit before continuing to walk forward.
Yeah, Alis has the letter in his hand for the Cartography Guild and is just like kind of keeping his peepers open for it.
What's that do you have in your possession, Alis?
It's a recommendation to join the Cartography Guild.
Oh my, from one school to another. Academia must be very important to you. He chuckles to himself.
Alis like blushes a little bit and looks away kind of embarrassed. Is like, well, self-taught. She said that I was doing all right on my own, but could learn a lot if I had some form of support, I suppose.
Oh, what? I didn't mean that as a jab, young Alis. It's an admirable trait for a studious spellcaster.
Alis squinted. How old are you?
He looks over and looks around a little bit. But it's 18 years. Why?
He's only 18. He's a baby.
Yeah, he's a student. He's a student, yeah.
Wow, you're a snot-nosed kid.
Hey, what about you? How old are you? I'll be 19 in 2 months, thank you very much.
I'm 30, you kiddo.
30? You look like a small child. And he remembering you're a halfling.
Because I'm a halfling.
Yes, of course. That was
what are you trying to
incredibly
tell me,
rude.
huh?
Incredibly rude.
Somehow
I'm
Kyron
sorry.
got sicked on him, moves around the group smirking and keeps walking.
You'll see Malcolm's face flush red a little bit, and then quite well. I suppose I should always respect my elders. And then he kind of like looks back at you with a smirk. My apologies, matriarch. I'll continue on my way.
I'll end your life.
Continues walking.
God, I'm shocked you didn't punch him. I was waiting.
Actually, been quite some time since I've been in the lower quarters. You will actually, between the smell of steel, coal, there is also a little bit of smell of, a little bit of stench of waste. That you can smell a little bit as you enter the streets, kind of signifying the
Like poop waste?
poop waste, like the just to kind of like demonstrate or show to you just like things aren't exactly the best down in the lower quarters.
Luna just remarks to herself, oh, nostalgic.
Oh my god.
So, Alis, do you know where you're going? I would like to actually return back to the upper quarters. Maybe say hello to my family while I'm here.
It should
sure
be
they're
somewhere around
okay.
here.
Well, yes, but and then Malcolm rolls his eyes a little bit. Oh, yes, everything is somewhere, but do you know where?
He'll like look at Malcolm for a second and then look at this guy. Where's the Cartography Guild?
He looks over at you as he's like sweeping the streets a little bit. He's got a bucket of waste at his side as he turns over, surprised to you. What?
The Cartography Guild. Is it nearby?
He thinks to himself a little bit. He walks over. Excuse me. He looks around a little bit. Scratches his head. He points over to this individual. Hey! Huh? Cartographers Guild. Where is it? And he, already knowing where it is, will point over to the East Street, to a rather large-sized building.
Oh, to the booby building. Got it.
You know what? When I made
There's
this,
a butt.
when I made this and I saw the curves, I knew for a minute, I knew exactly that Dodger, you were gonna be like, ah, yes, tits. Okay.
the Booba Guild.
The Booba Guild.
Got it.
It's the one that looks like a pair of melons. You know, overhead, but we're walking on the street, so you probably shouldn't be able to see that. Stairs. Stairs up in the sky. He'll look over at you and it's like, well, there it is. And he holds out his hand.
Oh, like to shake my hand?
No, palm up.
Aaron's walking away.
Oh, like for coin?
Yep.
Kyron has left the scene.
Yeah, Alis will shrug and give him a coin.
Thank you, young master. He'll pocket the coin, walk over to his bucket of waste, and continue walking south to one of the sewer grates. Well, that was thoughtful.
Man's walking around with who knows what in a bucket.
Well, that is typical of the lower quarters. They don't have the sophisticated sewage system as we do. And he smirks a little bit at that remark.
Alis will stop for a second and actually I guess back here, not right next to another person. But we'll look at him and you know, I'm surprised that you agreed to let us give you a ride somewhere, considering your family lives here.
I've done all that I need to do here. I simply want to check on their health and continue on my way. Just
Would
like
they
you,
not assist you?
In what way? He raises his eyebrow. I mean, sure, they've paid my tuition.
So, Alis will kind of pause and nod. All right. Suppose it's none of my business.
He shrugs a little bit. I'm an adult. I can't be running to mommy and daddy whenever there's an issue.
Of course. He'll keep walking.
I'll continue walking along with you. At the entrance to the guild, you see two archways that around a wooden door. As you kind of see the awnings over here. Or do you enter the guild?
Yeah.
With the swing of the wooden door, you enter the guild.
Comfy.
As you walk inside, there are two people that are over at the front desk. I need to, real quick, my apologies. I thought I did this already, and I did not.
I love the plants.
Gadoosh. And Gadoosh. A door opens. The woman looks up. This man also nods. Seems to be scribbling something upon the desk.
If she looks less preoccupied than him, then Alis will go over here.
Yes, welcome to the Brisbane branch of the IO's Cartographers Guild. How may I assist you?
I was given this by one of your cartographers. They wanted me to come here, and he'll hand her the letter.
She'll take the letter, read it lightly, and see the seal. And say, a recommendation. And that is from... Kind of look down over to one of these cabinets, looking over the files, the documentations of various scrolls, various papers, and identifications of individuals of the Cartographers Guild. She'll turn over to you and say, oh yeah, she's over at the south. How is she doing now?
She seems very happy with where she is.
Oh. It seemed to be a simple part of town. I'm curious if she resumed her exploration. Oh, very well then. This is actually an impressive recommendation. She's usually very picky about who she decides to recommend. She will then file it away.
Alice tries not to look too excited.
All right then. Please fill out this paperwork, and we will require a 100 gold piece processing fee to allow you entry into the guild.
All right. Thank you. And he'll take the papers and walk over, and he'll look at Luna and be like, "Do we have 100 gold on us?"
I know Leighton had a lot of gold, but I don't know if he was keeping it in our bag or not.
Malcolm just leans against this wall, folding his arms.
Above board, do we have the gold, or did it go with Leighton?
Well, let's go and see.
We have like tons of gold, but I know he was
We
always
have
paying
shit
people.
tons of gold, yeah, but like canonically, it seemed like Leighton always carried a bunch with him.
Mhm. Well, it depends
he
on
might
the.
have had it in the bag.
Well, it depends on the inventory. Let me check. I see 20 gold pieces over in Leighton's inventory. Did anyone document their gold?
I did. I know we have 3,895 pieces, and it was
Whoa.
781 pounds. So we were carrying some of it in the sack, but I don't know how much Leighton
Who had
took
the
out of
sack?
that.
Yeah.
Who had the bag?
Yeah,
Do-
who had the
You were
who
carrying
had
it all in
the
the bag? Well, let's find out. I'm gonna go relating inventory. Looking. Oh, I don't see a bag in with Leighton, and then Luna.
This is so also difficult because some of us, the inventory and equipment, like didn't really have anything in it for a while.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And no, did anyone document who may have had it?
I just know Alice doesn't. That's all.
I'll check through my notes.
Yeah.
I
Well,
feel like
well,
that was so long ago too.
Yeah, we'll have to next time just make sure that it's always being documented who has what. Ah,
Yeah, we need
yes.
to track it.
I have found who has the gold. 3,794 gold pieces.
Oh, who is it?
It belongs to Armstrong, who has been swallowed up
God.
into the
God
shadow.
Damn it.
Well, we need to distribute that. Our goals.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, I really hope that Armstrong's okay. In the back of our minds also, and fuck, he's got all of our money.
So I guess Luna says to Alice, so the thing about that is that we do have thousands of gold, but I think Armstrong has the bag.
Oh, that's
So no.
Right.
Malcolm sees the sour faces, and he's just like, what's wrong?
There's a processing fee here, and unfortunately, one of our captains that was swallowed up has all of our money.
Malcolm
Luna gets
chuckles a
kind
little
of
bit.
Yes.
Oh.
Do you have something you'd like to say?
Oh, no, please. Good luck with your processing fee.
I don't know if this would help or not, or how perceptive they are, but I could make some gold.
With what? With what spell?
I
don't want to create a situation where I like apply for this place and then they're like, "Oh, it was fake money." Never mind.
We could always earn some somewhere.
100 gold's a lot, though.
Wait, so let me get
suppose I
this
could always-
straight. You are not only choosing to go back to school and do work, but you are paying for it? Should they not pay you?
Aylis will chuckle a little and say, I'm already doing it. It's essentially navigation work, and I was charting the seas as we were sailing anyway. This lovely person that we met said that no one really does it, especially the harder areas to even traipse through, so she suggested that I join the guild, because they would find value in it and I would learn a lot. I'm
So it is
already
a
doing
school
it.
for drawing.
Essentially, but a very specific type of drawing. And he'll pull out like a couple of the sheets from his book of like some of the like preliminary sketches of like the serpent smile and stuff, and try to basically point out like the specifics of it, whether or not Zahani cares.
So it is
What
like the
about
pictures in
the
books.
Yes. Well, I'm mimicking pictures that I've seen in books, but it's not up to snuff. I need to be better.
That
Kyron tugs on
senator
Malcolm's
guy.
sleeve.
He says.
Kyron tugs on Malcolm's. Oh, I thought you were saying as in like what did I say? Do you have money?
Of course I have money.
You got 100 gold pieces?
He looks down at you. He's like, what's it to you, Grandma?
Hey, Aylis, Malcolm says he'll share.
Excuse me, he says, looking forward to that, stepping forward as his hair flares out, frustrated. I never said the kind.
Kyron looks at him dead in the eyes and says, what did we just help you do? We just stuck our necks out for you. The least you can do is, help us out on our journey, right? The more we can get Aylis used to making maps, the quicker we can get to wherever we need to go.
Malcolm,
That
seeing
is
that he's
true.
now surrounded by people. Kyron, go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
God, her and her -1 charisma.
Come on,
Great.
let's go.
I got +7 to persuasion. I could have a word
you
with him.
Oh,
Hell
16?
yeah.
Whoa, good.
His face sours a little bit, looking over into the satchel of the tome that he has collected. He'll sigh and shrug and says, I suppose
Look,
you have
we'll pay you back.
I suppose you
right?
have a point. He looks over at you and it's like, a real admirable way of starting a blossoming friendship, giving you a pouch filled with gold by a shakedown. He hands the gold over to Aylis.
Look,
Aylis smirks.
it's pirate time, buddy, all right?
And I suppose this, he kind of like jinkles the coin pouch a little bit, is my processing fee.
You
I
could say
suppose
that.
so.
No? Yar har me mateys. And then he hands you over the 100 gold.
With the pirate stereotypes.
Yo, ho, my ho.
Aylis will take the money easily and then walk back over with his filled out form and everything.
Very well. I see. What's Aylis's last name? What's the surname that you?
Aylis doesn't have one. If he has to put one down, he'll put Beard Throne down.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
she-
ow, that hurt.
She would
sweet.
request a surname. You put down Beard Thorn, and then she'll nod as she then seals the documentation, handing you over what appears to be a tiny card with a seal and your name scribed by her, mentioning that you are a member of the Cartographers Guild. Your home location will be the Brisbane Capital Branch. She informs you of the entry, what the guild offers you and why you paid the fee to begin with. Essentially, as you continue to be active within the guild, you will have access to books, papers, inks and vials of inks, pens and things like that, all free of charge. Anytime you need anything like that, just report to one of the guilds, show your cards, and then make a request order, and then that will be given to you at that point in time. She also mentions that you have they have the universal codex of IO. Essentially, the way the Cartographers Guild works is that everyone reports their findings, and then actually, you know what? Hold on, I have this documented. I had the whole thing documented over on the World Anvil. I think it was literally the only thing I made. So hold on one second. Hey, Dodger.
Yeah.
Can you link me that World Anvil?
Oh, the World Anvil, yeah.
I actually wrote down exactly how the Cartographer Guild works in that.
Oh my goodness.
Looking for a link. I'm looking for a link.
Sorry, I have to like log in.
No.
Okay.
It's all good. 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 Go to the IO homepage.
Worlds, IO, view world. Okay.
Campaign, mechanic, events, characters, heroes of IO, locations. I gotta log in. Okay, I gotta log in. Hold on. I actually have this document. I have an article I wrote about the Cartographers Guild. I think.
Wow.
Here it is, the Cartographers Guild. How?
Tell you.
Height. How do I? Okay, so it's an organization. How do I actually view this page? Oh God, this is so.
It's not humiliating.
I'm so embarrassed because I have
We dabbled in World Anvil, but you know.
Yeah. Your World's Cartographers Guild. Recently read articles. Here we go. The Cartographers Guild is an officially sanctioned guild in IO whose mission is to. I'm excited because I get to read all this and figure out what the hell it all means. And what I wrote apparently almost a year ago, whose mission is to create and document maps of the entire planet. Their goal, to inform the common masses of what exists outside of what they are familiar with, and to inform and educate what exists in the world of Io. Cartographers Guild has 3 charters located in the continents of Kathos, Ishtar, and Lux. The Cartographers Guild primarily is made of 3 roles: auditors, surveyors, and recorders. Officially entered maps of the Cartographers Guild are created by the official surveyors, who have received the accurate approval of 20 auditors. Once approved, recorders submit the maps into the official Cartographers Charter, where gold payment is issued to the official surveyor, as well as the sub-payment to the auditor. Individuals who wish to become an official surveyor must first become an auditor mentee. Auditor mentees must join official auditor mentors in map tracking, where these studious beings verify surveyor-created maps for authenticity. Once 20 maps have been successfully authenticated by both auditor mentee and auditor mentor, the mentee becomes an auditor. An auditor who successfully authenticates 100 maps becomes an official surveyor. So essentially, if you want your maps to be submitted into the charter, you have to like go through the ranks at this point.
Gotcha.
At that point, yeah. Individuals who become a cartographer record keeper or recorder, which is what these guys are, must successfully have a minimum of 20 maps approved by the Cartographers Guild. While more of a position of individual seeking retirement, a recorder handles all of the data and maps created, and are responsible of submitting fully authenticated maps into the Cartographers Guild's charter. You will receive a codex inscribing to you the Cartographer Guild's methods of map making. That tome will be presented to you, and the actual full codex of the IO. So essentially, the IO map codex is typically purchased 1,000 gold pieces, and that is typically because it is an extremely thoroughly documented of all of the maps that have been approved by the Cartographers Guild.
Right.
That's
for a later day.
Yeah, for members, it's 500 gold pieces. But you can also be given as a member, a map for free of IO, and that's just a general IO map which includes continents as well as key locations on Io. So those are all the things that you'd be given. You'd be given instructions on map making through the codex. You'd be given a map of Io, and anytime you need paper, ink, or anything of that, you just simply have to put in an order to the recorders, and they will give you your needs at that point, just as long as you are continuing that. But other than that, hold on, I have to get your rank.
Hell yeah. Give me my cartography rank. Multi-classing into cartography.
So if you ever want to become an actual surveyor and make this part of your actually make money off of this, you do have to go through quite a bit of a process. But you are an auditor mentee, so what that means is you would have to typically follow mentors around. You'll be given maps that surveyors have surveyed essentially, and you have to go into those areas exploring and checking off the thoroughness of the map with the auditor mentor. And as a mentee, you essentially have to join at that point. You may be able to negotiate your way out of the mentee role with thorough enough experience, kind of showing what you're doing to that and fast tracked with that. But typically, it's a mentee has to be with an auditor mentor, and then after you've successfully audited maps that have been fully approved, that's when you can become a surveyor, and that's when that's where you'll be able to actually submit maps and things like that.
Okay. I think Alis would feel like he has plenty to study for now, and would thank this lovely person and come back over and be putting his new stuff in his bag.
You have earned the rank of auditor mentee, which is the lowest rank of the introductory rank, rather, not the lowest. That sounds negative. Of the Cartographers Guild. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Why are you beeping?
I hate the idea that happened canonically.
I'm kidding. Holding up the instruction manual. You're like, beep, 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 beep. That's just how Alis is happy.
Just fucking voguing with my new map,
Hey.
Yeah. Alis will come back over and look at Luna and go, well, for the first time, we actually have a map. So.
Hey, guess what? Refresh your character sheet. And scroll all the way to the bottom of your skills.
Cartography! I have a cartography skill now.
That's so cool.
Tight.
Really proud. And she looks over at Alis and smiles, like very excited for him.
You are currently not proficient in cartography, but as you continue to look through everything. Oh, weird. Hello. How long has the map not been viewed? Oh, hold on.
What were they seeing?
They were literally looking at the intro screen. I don't know how long they were looking at the intro screen for.
Amazing.
Oh, you know what it is?
There was secret shit happening, chat.
Oh, yeah, no, it's because I was loading up the Cartographer Guild information. I didn't want to accidentally loading on this map. So, yeah, they didn't miss anything. Okay, good. Sorry about that, chat. Okay, so thank you, chat. Yeah, so now you have a cartographer skill. As you continue to make maps, enhance your cartography, and as it further improves, you shall gain confidence within your cartography skill, allowing you proficiency one day into cartography.
Wow.
It's pretty good. So, at that point, you just kind of see Malcolm fold his arms and kind of give an exaggerated, yawn. Are we done here?
I'm finished.
All right, then. I am going to say hello to my parents. And then I believe we were What are we doing? He says as he enters the door, like as if he haphazardly, literally looked like, like, oh, I know what we're doing. Then he looks over, it's like, what are we doing?
Above board, guys. What are we doing?
Well,
Wait,
the last thing you told me, that you guys told me, I have a little checklist that you guys went down. The first thing you said is you wanted to go over to Brisbane to become a cartographer. You have. Congratulations,
Yes.
member of the guild.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way,
Appreciate it.
is there any stuff you want here while you're currently at this place? You can make a request for paper, quills, inks, books, anything of that nature.
I know, but I have a codex to actually learn how to be a proper cartographer. I have a quill that never runs out of ink, and I have infinity books that are blank back where we were. I guess we don't have to RP it, but I guess I would probably ask for the specific type of paper that they use, assuming that it's similar to
map
blueprint
parchment?
paper or something. Map paper.
So, 1 second. Ah, yes, there you are. There you are. That's weird, but okay. I shall give you a, let me just, gold. How heavy are tomes and codexes? Like 5 pounds? That sounds about right, right?
Sure.
Like 4 pounds?
I feel like 5 pounds is a lot.
Four
Oh,
pounds?
is this like a freaking dictionary?
I mean, it is like literally
it is
a
huge, yeah.
thorough
Is it huge?
instruction.
Okay, then yeah.
A thorough instruction of like how maps are made. So, I've added to your inventory a cartographer instruction codex. You would be given drafting map parchment. It's not actual map parchment because the production of that paper is very costly. And would only be used for authenticated maps that would be given to the surveyors. But you would be given a sort of like drafting parchment that functions as like a more simpler, not as thick textured piece of paper, but still takes ink very well so that you are able to draw very detailed maps and that the ink itself kind of like blends well into the paper.
Would they also have like rulers and things, like the sort of stuff? Yeah, great. I would just want just all that.
Okay. Sorry if this is all a little too thorough. I just want to
get 10 bottles of ink too, just in case.
No, I don't need ink. I got a forever quill.
All right, you've been given 50 sheets of paper, along with your already 50 sheets of paper. I will call this drafting parchment. Well, bam. You would like a ruler, is that correct?
Yeah.
Ruler. Okay. Whoops. Yeah. Sorry. What the? A ruler. And what else were you looking for, or is that it?
Oh, that's it. Just
Okay.
whatever tools I would need to make a map accurately.
Okay. You received drafting parchment, rulers, as well as you already have your What did we give you? We gave you a quill, right?
I have Levin's quill.
I'm gonna go ahead and add that to your inventory as well.
Isn't it in there?
Ink pen is all it says.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
I will add the custom item. Levin's quill of infinite ink.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah. And there you are. Boom. All right. This would probably be, if I would imagine, that much. Okay. And the weight override. No weight. All right. I'm going to refresh. And you are... Woman, yeah, you know what? You will also be issued a compass so that you can appropriately document what direction you're in. Compass. Compass.
Yeah.
Okay. Compass. I'm gonna go cost override. I'm gonna say 10. 10 gold for that. Okay. There it is. I'm refreshing your inventory now, and you are good to go.
Nice.
All right, awesome. Chat, thank you so much for telling me what I should be adding, but rules lawyers, my friend. Go over to the IO Discord and join the rules lawyers. I know some of you guys know better, but I can't adjust things on the fly just because of chat's input. So thank you very much, though. I really do appreciate that. All right. Let's see. People get very passionate about it. To make sure that they have a place to go. All right, you've finished everything. You got everything that you need over there, and yeah. So the checklist that you guys had mentioned at that point was joining the Cartographers Guild. There was brief mention about going to Atlas to talk to Manda about the seal that's on your adoption papers. And then going over into the airship to go to, not airship, I'm sorry, claiming the misdemeanor to see what's been worked on and what you can go ahead and add at this point.
How do we feel about... Sorry.
Go on.
Oh, I was going to say, it feels like both of these things are kind of low impact. We could split the group and do both at the same time, potentially.
Oh,
But if everybody wants to go to Atlas, then...
I mean, Atlas is
also
a 1 hour ritual.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's also that. We also need to probably in character have a conversation about whether or not we want to bring Malcolm to Atlas.
Yeah, that's true.
That is for now.
Yeah, I think that maybe when assuming that like skipping ahead is fine, like when Malcolm goes to talk to his family, maybe that would be the point where we would like have a conversation about what we want to do next.
He did mention he was interested in saying hello to his parents.
Yeah.
And that, so at that point he would be like, we could meet up here before the, when were you planning to depart from Brisbane?
Few hours.
Where's our ship? Is it here?
No, it's over in one of the docks, and that's over in the eastern part of the continent of Brisbane. So it would be a few days travel on carriage to get there.
Okay.
Because you were over at the ship originally was outside the old academy. You would have moved it over to one of the naval cities of the Brisbane port. And so your ship would probably be there over at the with the Brisbane Navy being worked on. There you continued along the pathway a few days travel over to the Senator, and now you are in the center of Brisbane, which is here in the capital city. So it'd be a few days travel to get to the port to get back to your ship because you are pretty far inland right now. Yeah, so hopefully that answered your question.
Okay. Then wherever it is that we would be hopping a carriage, yeah, we would probably just meet there.
Very well. It's currently mid-afternoon, so he thinks it would probably be best to either rest here or ride out during the evening hours. What would you guys like to do?
I mean, if we run into problems in the middle of the night, I have literally 2 spell slots left, so...
Yeah, let's rest then.
I used up everything.
Yeah, resting's probably good.
Very well. Would you like me to handle the boarding as well? And then he kind of gives an exaggerant bow.
Yo, if you want to. Thanks.
Yep. He goes ahead and looks over at his
You're all right, Malcolm.
coin purse again, handing 10 gold pieces. It's like, just find a place with a room. I'd rather not stay in some sort of stables.
You know, above board, aren't we like friends with the senator guy of this town who said we could do whatever we wanted when we came back? And
Do whatever
get
you
credit?
wanted. Can you please
Everyone,
explain with that?
I mean, like, he made it sound like we had free meal and room and board anytime we came to visit.
Oh, like over in his house, yeah, but that's about a day south from where you're currently at.
Oh.
Yeah, his is like in an old hunting lodge fort, so. So if you would like to go ahead and stay, it would have to be, yeah, it'd have to be. But yeah, at that point, Malcolm, unless someone stops him, will leave and head over to the upper section of Brisbane.
He's
Malcolm,
obnoxious.
Malcolm, now out of earshot. Feel free to continue.
At least he's obnoxious with money. That's helpful.
So here's a question. Unfortunately, I need to figure out how to be done with this. And he'll like pull out the adoption papers so we can be tracked through this. I think Manda can do something about it. She knows scrying. Malcolm said we need someone who understands scrying, and she's definitely very powerful. So do we want to go now while Malcolm's gone?
It's better than bringing him along.
All right. Well, I need an hour.
All right, so
So-
are you all go ahead and leave that alone. You all are heading over to Atlas, is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
Yes, I will kind
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Zahani.
of. Uh-huh.
What's a honey?
Zahani. can
Not
you
right
do-
when I took a big bite, dude.
Oh, sorry. Well, you don't have to actually respond for this. Can you go over into the Astral Academy on D&D Beyond and remove your character? So I can get you over in the correct D&D Beyond setting.
Yeah.
And then once you remove your character from Astral Academy, I need you to join. I'll link it. I need you to join this campaign. And that's just the World of Bio. I'm moving everyone there. All right. So after about an hour's time, you continue to you cast the ritual spell, where you are swept away into the city of Atlas. Don't know where I put the beauty for Atlas. Give me a minute. Found it. It's in a folder called Atlas. Looking around, making sure no one else is here.
Very nice.
Yes. All right. Anyway, you
Quite nice.
after spending some time, you teleport over into the city of Atlas. The wind, once again, blowing across the top of the floating city. Yep, there it is. I knew I was gonna find some people. All right. You arrive once again.
Karen runs over and immediately requests uppies. She got rejected last time.
She was working on something. She turns over to see you, just immediately charge up. She goes, "Argh!" She picks you up, kind of shakes you up and down a little bit, and then puts you back down, returning back to work.
Karen's pleased. She's good now.
What can I do for you? You're mute, Dodger.
Okay. Alis will start to kind of rifle through his bag and say, I might need some help with scrying or something adjacent. I was told that perhaps an expert scryer might be able to help, and I know you've done a lot of it. He'll pull out the papers, and he'll say, I need to make it so that these are either neutralized or I need them to not be traceable.
And you want me to do that?
If you know how.
She looks over at it, and as she stares, she looks at the seal. She kind of smells it a little bit. And says, "This is some potent magic." Yep, I'm trying to. Perfect. She sighs a little bit. Apparently not in the best of moods currently. And as she
Stares
realized...
at the other groups. What did you do?
Before looking over at you and simply stating, well, I can't take care of this, but I know someone who can.
Oh.
Turns around over to the house, knocking at the door as her shoulders get heavy. Looking down over to the ground, she turns back around, resuming work. As the door opens up, a familiar individual that you have not seen in quite some time walks out.
Is this the dude from the weird disappearing hut?
Yep.
Oh,
You.
Hmm? Ah, yes, you! Welcome, welcome! How can I help you today? Amanda just kind of like shrugs a little bit, sighing a little bit as she's looking down.
Alis looks like he's already exhausted.
Kyron's looking back and forth between them and is very confused.
This is the guy that first talked to Leighton? Is that right? And then the hut disappeared, or?
This is the individual that you went over to his hut. He was also the individual that revealed to you that you still had family alive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How may I assist you today, young students?
Alis will hand him the papers. Do you know how to neutralize this? Get rid of the magic associated with it.
I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at this. He'll go ahead and grab at that point the documents, placed it over into his open magic hood, and he will just let it drop into his robe. Wait, what'd you say? You cut out a little bit.
Alis makes a face like he's confused.
I'm just looking at this. Hold on one moment, please. Yes, I see what we can do with this. His hand reaches out into the hood. The robe itself begins to expand a little bit as he pulls out the document, giving it over to you. You're uncertain if you want to grab it because even though it doesn't appear, it seems like it would be moist or damp.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think Alis, it would have been perceived like this person just ate it and then regurgitated it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
He'll like tentatively hold a hand out and touch like the corner of it. Does it feel okay?
No, no. Oh, yeah. It feels fine. It feels absolutely fine.
Okay. Yeah, Alis will kind of like hold just the tip of it for a second and then grab it properly.
Yes, I could probably do something about this. It seems you've had an individual put a nasty little bit of scrying magic upon this document. Naughty.
I didn't do it.
Oh, no, not you, but whoever this document belongs to. And it doesn't seem to be yours.
I don't think that that's really a problem for you, is it?
No, it isn't, but well, it means that you would be interested in getting this removed so that it couldn't be tracked. Is that correct?
Alis kind of watches him for a minute and goes, "All right, what do you want?"
Now you know the name of the game. Please come into my hut. He'll turn around, walking back inside.
Well, that's his hut now, said Amanda.
He's a very strange individual from your reality. He reeks of shadow.
Oh,
You're
wait.
this guy.
When she no, sorry. I was trying to think of like how to ask if that would ping for Alis. Not the name Shadow, but like if when interacting with him, Alis would have felt like this feels familiar. Like his magic or his aura feels familiar.
He's already extremely disturbed and distraught with everything. That he's like everything already feels completely out of tune and out of focus when it comes to him. You don't feel anything familiar, but definitely the word shadow, you know, that sets things off considering the fact you were talking about Shadow Veil.
But I don't think that we've ever called it the Shadow Veil, right? We don't know that name, I don't think.
You don't know that name. That is correct. Just that it is in an area of darkness. You could go and make an Arcana check if you'd like.
Sure.
Okay.
A 12.
12.
Pepperoni.
Yeah, you're gonna need some more information specifically from him, or some more scrying specifically from him. So.
Okay, Alis will like step forward a little bit, look back, look at Luna with this kind of like, oh geez, and then look at Kyron and Zahani and say, I don't know if you've ever met him before, but be prepared for just a lot of weirdness, I suppose.
I've never seen this before. What? Do you guys know him?
He's strange.
I can tell that much.
How do you know who he is? He's just wearing a robe.
He has a hut, which I guess is now this building. It pops in and out of dimensions. It's strange. He appeared right outside of, I believe was Armstrong's house.
Interesting. All
But-
right.
Oh, bored.
He
This
has-
isn't the same guy that turned into the kobold and talked to Leighton. Okay, just making sure.
I'll link you the episode that you were at. But this is the individual where you went into a memory, into an altered reality, and you faced off. I believe that you guys faced off against a lycanthrope, a werewolf, underneath a crypt. With that, he in exchange he gave you various items for rewards, and to Luna, he revealed to you a scrying spell. Specifically informing you that you had family members still alive, specifically Malira.
Oh, okay.
Do you
And
remember
I
that? Do you remember that at all,
Sorry.
Laura?
I do, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I
That's
get
the
confused
individual.
with the pop-up huts.
No worries.
And I got the book that let me track ley lines.
That's right. You know, specifically from
Oh,
this
he's
individual.
probably gonna make us do some bullshit. Let's go.
As you open the door, you see a stairway that descends into darkness.
That's
Alis
not
will go down the
sketchy.
stairs.
All right, and as you descend down the stairs, you end up back into his hut.
Okay, I remember this now.
Yo, he got another hat.
And then sitting over there, you will see him sitting on the chair.
Oh yeah, Leighton wanted the hat for Alis or something like that.
It was a while ago. It was over a year
A
ago.
long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, but he sits over and he's like, welcome. So it seems you found your way over to the altered city of Atlas. Very good. I, as well, found myself here to a brand new reality where, you know, everyone's dead, but it's a perfect place to, hide. I'm smiling right now. Anywho, go ahead and place your document over there on the end of the table, right over.
Place.
He turns around. Why Why are people so interested in my bed? Hello?
I'm tired.
Me
Okay.
too.
This is tiring.
And then he's looking over Zahani. Zahani, what are you doing?
Who are you? Hello, I am Zahani.
Hello, you may simply call me the Magi.
Why do you wear a robe?
Why do you wear clothes?
Well, I can see my face still. I cannot see yours.
Well, you don't need to see my face, little Zahani.
Well, you don't need to see mine. Oh, my face disappears.
Amazing.
That's a good trick. Anyways, excuse me, you, little halfling.
Huh?
Kind of rude to go into a man's bed. What if I have bed bugs?
I mean, I sleep on a ship. I'm sure there's bed bugs there too, right?
She kind of just rolls around. She's in cat mode.
Excuse me. Can you please get your pet off my my bed?
Kind of flicks him off and then just like curls back up.
Looking over at Alis.
Alis shrugs. Not sure exactly what you want me to do about her.
I don't know. Put a leash or something. I don't know. No one should sleep in a lady's bed. And they'll go ahead and sit back down on the chair.
Wait, what?
At least I'm still a lady.
Oof. Shrugs a little bit. All right, then. So you would like a seal, a nasty seal removed from this document. Tell me a little bit more of this paper.
It's my adoption papers.
Oh, man, they did a number on these papers. Really wanted to make sure no one tampered with the thing,
He'll grimace a little.
The very strong divination sealed upon this parchment. I suppose, and then the Magi will kind of step up on the table. I suppose I could do something for you, but what would you do for me, And he'll now towering over you a little bit, standing on the table, just lean down over at you, Alis.
Alis will smirk a little and he'll say, well, I assume that you haven't gathered all of the data that you need.
There was a, he'll hop down from the table. A bit of an incident last time I was on Io. It was, problematic. He'll then place a hand over on the wall of the hut. So I've been lying low for a little bit.
What did you do? Luna kind of approaches him, or her, inquisitively.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Grumbles a little bit before turning back over to Kyron. A halfling caused some issues.
That's what we do.
She looks a little proud of herself as she kind of messes up the bed and curls up in the blankets.
Halflings.
She's bundling.
The hut. Not to get into a very long story, but the hut takes me wherever I need to go. Wherever it wants to go, I am simply I am simply its passenger. Patting on the wall a little bit. We went on a little bit of a journey. I met some kind individuals. My hut was very insulted by a ghost-wise halfling that said some extremely rude things, and then soon before I knew it, I wasn't even hopping between veils anymore. I was hopping between realities. I ended up on a floating landmass in the sky. Apparently, a ruined city of Atlas. Needless to say, as the Magi
So
continues.
your hut is
around.
alive, says Luna. She goes and starts looking at the walls. Can you talk to it?
Yes, I can.
Is it sentient?
I'm still trying to figure that out. You see, well, I suppose it's been some time, and last time I told this story, I was being traveled and leaping around realities. It would be nice to actually have someone to talk to who's a little more friendly. T, and he'll kind of hold out his arm, his sleeves, and you'll just see various plates and cups fall out along with a kettle of tea that'll just kind of like spill out as if it just like slid out from his arms over
Vanessa
here. on this.
smiles
Tea in
so
your
big.
armpits?
Picks up the kettle and she's like, I'd love some. And she just immediately starts like arranging it for her.
Gross.
Like looking around at all of his companions, like, could you focus, please? One of you's sleeping, one of you's lounging, the other one's
sleeping.
trying to make tea.
I'm resting. There's a difference. I'm paying attention.
As
She
you
hasn't
say,
had guests in so long.
I as you continue to rest over there, you will Kyron,
Uh-oh.
the bed
Oh,
begins
no.
to close in on you.
What?
As you then begin to see the head of the bed and the legs of the bed kind of begin to lift up and close as if it's some sort of like maw, some sort of trap.
Ah!
Kyron's very alarmed. But
Are you getting off the bed?
she'll roll out. She'll roll out.
It'll snap and then return back. And the Magi will look over at you, and I said, I told you this is a bed bug.
Kyron kicks the bed frame.
How dare you?
You'll all you'll hear is just
What's that?
What?
What?
he looks over at the bed and looks back at you like upset her. Kind of pat the bat a little bit.
Well, I was appreciating her until she tried to eat me.
Oh, you didn't ask for permission if you want to rest on her.
Ugh.
How rude. And you, little faceless man, get off my chair. What's happening here? And it's
I look just like her now, robe and all. I'll say, I am a mysterious stranger who sleeps on bugs and has plate for arms.
Do you just imagine I kind of like walk around a little bit looking over at Alis, and it's like, are you their parents?
Do I look like I'm their parents? Do I look like I have any control over any of this?
Whatever, it's totally fine, I
Tap the
suppose.
papers. Can we do something about this or not? Is there something we can do for you or not?
Yes, I would have.
patting the
Yeah.
side of the hut, and she's just like, I don't know what they said, but you're a beautiful hut, and you have so much magical power. I've never met a hut like this before.
You'd be a better hut if you didn't try to eat me.
Don't listen to her.
Please don't yell at the hut. Yes, there's something that I could do, but I'm gonna need my chair if, this individual would get off of it, please. Hello?
What is this rock in the middle? Zahani pokes it with his finger.
Why are you touching things that don't belong to you?
Well,
You
it
are
is
probably the
mysterious.
most haphazard individuals I've ever met. Walking into a mysterious individual's hut and then just touching
Zahani,
things, sleeping in
please,
things.
Shut up, will you?
Okay.
I invite you into my home, and then you're just going around being rude. Well, not the elf, of course. Pointing over at Luna. This individual has been extremely kind. Very nice. Thank you. Waving over at Luna.
She's like smooching the wall.
Yeah.
What a pretty hut.
Well, I thought you were interested in my story, but I suppose we can cut right back down to business. As mentioned, and going over to Luna once again, I'm from your planet's in a location simply known as the Shadow. To kind of consider it as a fold of realities, a veil, if you will, that covers over the over Io.
Another veil.
What do you mean another veil? You're from a veil?
We've been to the astral veil. Recently, we've felt magic from another.
Another? Ooh, well, my dear boy, as far as I understand it, he'll think to himself a little bit, looking back over to you. There are currently two charted veils in Io that is known. That is known of your people. Well, some of your people. A lot of you are not entirely too bright. Oh, not you, of course. He points over at you. You're a very brilliant individual, aren't you? Aren't you? And oh, sorry. Like he's wiggling his little sleeve a little bit, like he's talking to a pet. and he's just like, oh yes, of course. Yes, there is the Astral Veil. I've been there a couple of times, or rather, the hut's been there a couple of times. And then there is, and his voice will drop a little bit. Where I'm from. The Shadow Veil. Ooh. It kind of like gets really close to you.
If he gets close to me, I think Alis would like touch his robe a little bit and try to like assess what he's made of and see if it feels similar.
As you touch his robe, you feel as if there is some sort of gelatinous slime underneath the robe.
Oh.
And he goes, ooh!
Sorry, may I?
May you what? He's looking at your finger as if you're about to poke again.
Alis is getting in on this, like, harassing the poor shadow dude.
There was a portal that opened up. Two of us were sucked inside, and we're trying to figure out where they've gone. They're on a separate veil, not the astral veil. And if there's only two, then they're where you're from.
Mm-hmm. He nods a little bit. Yes, that's right. It sounds like it, unless you've discovered a completely different veil, in which case I would be most impressed. But no, more than likely, your friend is located in my my home veil, the Shadow Veil. And if your friends are there, and he'll sit over on the chair, well, your friends are in quite a bit of trouble.
Luna suddenly gets a little serious, and she says, "What do you mean? What is this place like? Your home?"
You don't choose your home, unfortunately. But no, the Shadow Veil is a twisted, horrible place. Denizens that live there within the Veil themselves are not so... They don't have it together, he'll say with like air quotes in his robe. In fact, I am probably one of the most friendlier individuals of the Veil, of the Shadow Veil. By the looks of your alarmed, and by the looks of your alarmed faces, well, you can see I'm not typically well of social situations. I'll just kind of rest
Luna
there a
says,
little bit,
that's
leaning back.
quite all right. She puts the teapot and all the stuff she picked up and cleaned off and kind of arranges it nicely on the ground. And she says, "If we have tea with you, will you tell us a little more about the Shadow Veil? And you see, we have two human friends that got sucked over there, and we want so much to get them back, but we know nothing about this place."
Well, that is simply because not many of your plane of existence on the planet of Io doesn't travel there. Shadow Veil itself is completely closed, sealed off from all of mortal kind. In fact, myself and my brother were the only individuals who were capable of getting out.
Your brother?
He motions to the hut.
Your brother's the hut?
Well, he looks over. He's in the hut, but I suppose, yes, that would make him the hut. And myself as well. And he points to himself. I'm currently in this vessel as well.
I see.
If what you're telling me is true, and I can smell a liar and you don't reek of deceit, then yes, I believe what you're saying is that your friends are in a grave amount of danger. The Shadow Veil is a twisted nightmare, a prison created a long time ago when Io was born anew. And well, think of it as a hellish Pandora. We are all simply wandering spirits, wandering souls, wandering shadows. And the veil continuously twists at our minds for all eternity. We can never die, we can never perish. All we can do is suffer. Well, my brother and I decided, fuck that shit, and we got out. But, and he stands back up. But, obviously there was a bit of a cost. I, for one, did not leave this hut. And my brother, well, he definitely can't leave the hut. But something about this reality, this aspect, has allowed me to... He opens the door and goes upstairs a little bit. And then goes back down. Something about this place has allowed me to leave a little more freely. Not for long, mind you. It's incredibly uncomfortable outside the hut. But, yes, we managed to get out. But you're looking to get back in. Or get in for the first time.
The magic in our reality is weaker here because it's not the same reality.
That is correct. You see, the sort of rules of magic only apply to the reality they're in. I mean, sure, there are similar attunements, similar rules, similar physics, but there are certain things that can be bent. And here in this reality, it has allowed us to bend it just a little more. Finding this location, well, my brother is a little bit more comfortable. I am, as well. But I think we'll be staying here for quite some time. See if we can live a normal life. To see if we both may be able to, one day, leave the hut. But back to the business at hand. You have a paper you'd like me to take care of. But he leans in. It sounds like that isn't the one thing that you are the most concerned about. Your friends in the shadow. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so weird how they left. A portal opened up and arms were coming out, pulled them in, and then they were gone.
Armstrong was talking about a kobold, wasn't he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A kobold from the shadow?
Kobold. Fascinating. Okay. What I would be most alarmed about, then... He sits back on the chair, his light-mooded pretense kind of beginning to fade at this point in time. Is your friends were abducted, it sounds like?
Yeah.
I think so.
Then you're in... Not only are your friends in a lot of trouble, but you are as well. In fact, I would say all of Io may be in danger. You see, access to and from the Vale is not so easily obtained. Sure, myself and my brother were eventually fortunate enough to escape, but not without its own prices. And if you're meaning to tell me that someone was simply able to yoink individuals from your plane of existence into the Vale, well then, my friends, you've got a problem. It seems the barrier between the Shadow Vale and Io itself is weakening.
What does
And if
that
go
mean?
on. Well,
What does that mean for us?
well, the two planes are needing to be kept separate. The Shadow Vale itself is a hellscape of twisted spirits and souls, never dying, and constantly having their minds tortured and warped. as we all slowly go insane. And that barrier is weakening, and now you have these mad spirits able to roam freely onto your plane. Well, that would be a bit problematic, wouldn't it?
Alis looks like he's thinking, like, like the math meme is happening. And he'll say, he mentioned the kobold. What, so the deep one is there? Or just the kobold?
Deep one?
Assuming it's the same one, it must be. Otherwise it wouldn't have come for Armstrong. There's a kobold that we met. It wanted us to find a child of the deep one. We found eggs that seemed to satisfy it. But in exchange for us being able to go on to the next stage of our... well, what we needed to do, Armstrong gave his soul to them. And now they've come and taken him, and Leighton's followed. So they must... or maybe they're hiding there? Or were they there all along?
He tilts his head a little bit. Second time you've talked about a kobold. When you spoke to this individual, what, was it through some sort of communication device? Or were you actually speaking to an individual?
No,
It
we
was
spoke
someone
to
in
it.
person, right? Yeah. He was on a beach, I believe, and a deal was made. Alis and I didn't know about it until later, but they have some sort of pact.
And you're saying this individual was the one that kidnapped your friends into the shadow?
I would assume so. You see, we couldn't hear the conversation that our friend was having with the kobold. It just looked like he was talking to himself. Armstrong. And then suddenly, Arms came out of nowhere and started dragging him in. But from what he was saying, I would guess that he was talking with the kobold, yes.
A silence falls over the room as the Magi begins to ponder of this. You've already got shadows then who will freely roam between your plane and the Veil. This is most worrisome. And you mentioned a child, a baby of the Deep One, is that correct?
Scrum.
A what now?
We kind of adopted him.
You-
I think he imprinted on one of our friends when he hatched.
Where is this Scrum?
Luna looks over at Alis.
Alis will kind of scrunch up his face. He's either still on the ship with Eleanor, or he was with Leighton.
Huh. I see. Well, a theory, if you don't mind. You see, as you can tell, as he kind of like motions around to the hut and to himself, we shadows are easily capable of the art of possession. Not only in individuals, of course, but into objects. As you see, why I am this fine specimen, my brother is the hut. We're very good at it. Of course, when there is a barrier that is keeping us out from different planes of existence, there's not much that we can take over and possess. It seems, my friends, that this Deep One, whoever that is, I would imagine some sort of powerful shadow, is currently looking for a vessel. A vessel that once they are able to escape from the Veil, they can take over and live their lives here. And as you can see, with everything that I've been able to do, we are extremely potent in all of our abilities.
So he wants Armstrong's body to inhabit him and come back and live here. is what you're saying.
I'm uncertain of why they would even want your friend's body. Be that, sir.
Either
Looking for-
Armstrong or Scrum.
Looking for a suitable vessel. Very, very possible. But if your mortal shells would not be able to survive the shadow long. As I'd mentioned, this is a veil of twisted insanity, with creatures that have, well, lost their way of life. We all understand that we've had a life once before the shadow. It's hard to remember what happened. A incident, I would imagine, that took us away from one life and began to warp at our minds. I'm uncertain of our previous lives, of course, but the shadow is not a place where anyone would be.
So the longer our friends stay in the shadow, what you're saying is the higher chance that they'll go insane.
Well, or the insane shadows that are in there will tear up and eat and spit out your friends. Yes. It's extremely dangerous.
So how do we...
She pauses and thinks before becoming a bit more resolute.
How do we get them back? Do you know of a way?
I do. Looks up at the hut. Then looks over at you. And before he gives the answer, we're gonna wait for Dodger to come.
Okay.
Once Dodger comes back, you'll be given the answer. And it will shock you.
Oh,
Oh.
Play some mats as well while we're waiting. If anyone needs to use the restroom, please let me know.
thank you. I'm gonna go for a minute.
How's everyone enjoying the session so far?
It's good.
Cool.
I was not expecting it to take this turn. So
Yeah.
I'm curious. This is also, it's interesting for me to RP through this because this is technically pre-Chiron. Like a lot of because I know what happened, but also I have to run it through a filter in my brain. I'm like, what does Chiron know and what does Chiron not know? So I'm trying to balance that.
All right.
I was wondering how we were gonna, find a path to get to where Leighton and Armstrong are, or if we were gonna do it at all. So this is really interesting.
Yo, if we end up just yoinking into the shadow right now, Malcolm though.
Oh, Malcolm, that's right. He's probably standing around like, I paid for this room. Where are they?
Where is this room? Which inn is it? These plebeians have left me.
I also, even though he's a student, it didn't occur to me how young Malcolm was. Because
Yeah.
he's so, pretentious. So I was just like, oh, he must be, in his 30s or something. But when he said he was 18, I was like, oh.
Salmon.
Did Duke's message what? Oh, yeah, there it is.
His baby.
Baby.
I'm gonna say, this is a lot for Zahani's little pea brain. I would say for 90% of this conversation, he's been looking at his feet, looking at his own shadow, wondering how something can live there.
Oh, the honey baby.
So howdy.
The howdy.
The howdy.
I think Luna's mainly fascinated that she can talk to the hut. Because she always anthropomorphizes everything, so she's like, but this really is a talking hut. Or like a
permanent one.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Dude, when Zahani turned into the shadow guy, it was all like, look at me, I live in a hut. And he was like, that was so funny.
Yo, Zahani's great.
He's my little cinnamon roll.
Ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. This is oh. I grabbed the wrong thing. Yes, good. Yes. Man,
Yes.
poor Dodger's gonna come back and be like, "What I miss?" And it's like nothing. We waited for you.
Well, we went into a little more detail. It's just that we hit something that needs Alis.
Mm-hmm.
We kept going for a little bit. It wasn't all waiting, just 90%.
Guys, I ate something spicy, so my voice is gonna be all scruggy now.
Oh no.
Oh no!
I'll just pretend Luna has a cold.
Running those spicy food.
Spicy.
What you what did you eat?
It's just like veggie bowl with tofu and stuff, but the sauce is just like really spicy green sauce. And I didn't think it was that spicy, but now I'm like like a hemming left and right. I'm like, oh
Got that
no.
after spice.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and read some notes real quick. Make some secret roll.
Secret rules.
We don't like that.
That's scary.
Ooh, looks like Zahani dies this episode. Sorry.
Sorry.
The dice tell
Rolled
the
a
story.
1. Sorry.
It's just a heart attack. It happens.
Oh. Wait 1 second. God, I hate when it do this thing. Hold on. This.
Oh.
This.
Oh.
You're good. Don't worry about it.
Man, could you imagine if you had a D&D where like you had to make rolls to see if you're just sick that day just because?
I can imagine that.
At the beginning of every long rest, or at the end of every long rest, you have to do a Constitution saving.
Make a roll.
throw.
Oh, sorry, you got a cold today.
Rolls a
Sorry.
1. Sorry, you had a stroke.
Oh gosh.
Ba-ba-ba. Beep, beep, beep. Okay. This. Perfect. All right. Where is Dodger? Taking care of baby. I'm gonna go get myself a LaCroix. I'll be right back.
Do it.
LaCroix boy. I can't. Ever since she showed us that LaCroix boy video, every time I see it in the store or something, the LaCroix boy thing starts playing in my head.
That's great. I'm trying to figure out how much money Kyron has now that we're like, hey, we should be keeping track of this stuff, because I feel like Kyron mooched some money off of Leighton, but I can't remember how much it was, so I'm like trying to scroll for that episode, and I'm just like, I know that happened. I know she mooched some money.
I have no money. I gave all mine to the goblins ages ago. I got scammed.
Oh no!
All
One
right.
day we're gonna like confront the goblins and like, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
So let me go around the board while we're waiting for Dodger. Laura, what was your perception of like Luna's character, and where do you think they like tell us a bit of where you thought Luna began at the like where Luna was, like how they were at the beginning of the campaign and how they've changed up to this point.
I think at the beginning of the campaign, Luna was probably a lot more carefree. And not like actually carefree, but kind of like I'm not really gonna think too much about my past. Like every new adventure is a new adventure, and she was just kind of kicking it with Armstrong, living on the beach, having a pretty relaxed life. But I think that this adventure, in particular for her, brought up a lot of memories because I think it was the first time that she was tied to things that happened to her in her childhood. And so I think she's gotten a lot more serious about certain things and a lot more like connected to other people, where she was legit worried about people and stuff like that. So yeah, I think she's grown up a bit.
Aw.
How's she handling the family stuff, you think, with Malira?
I think it's something that like she thinks about every now and then, at night, like it'll kind of haunt her a bit. I think she's sort of torn between being like half of her is really angry, half of her is kind of bitter and angry and sort of thinking like, how dare she? Because from Luna's perspective, when she left the academy, it wasn't because she was like running for her life, I'm gonna leave everyone behind, stuff like that. It's because she legitimately thought that everyone died. Like from her perspective, she thought she was the sole survivor. And to have like Malira say those things to her makes her really angry, but at the same time, she still remembers how Malira was. So she misses her, and she's kind of going back and forth between being angry and being sad and wistful about it.
Now, the way I looked at Malira's character was that I kind of looked at that as a different upbringing. Because you two seem to have like different goals, different minds. Malira seems to be more head down, more more focused, no smiles whatsoever. And that's the way I kind of looked at Malira. Like when you two split and separated, she had a whole different life from yours. When yours was carefree with goblins and eventually pirates and pirate captains, she was with whatever this Demeanor cult is. That became her upbringing for the past like 50 years, and that's where it kind of like both of you just kind of got dramatically warped in different like different paths in different ways. And I think that's why Malira is who she is. Probably a lot of resentment, probably a lot of trauma from the attack on the old academy, and it kind of like warps them.
Yeah, I think the way they handle things too is really different because I think like Luna saw, like I think she was pretty traumatized by what happened too, but I think she kind of rolls with things differently. Like she's a lot more kind of like adapting to different situations, and I feel like they both grew up faster, but in different ways.
Mhm.
Like for Luna, I think with most elves, they're only around other elves, so they have this like really long childhood, and they have quite a good amount of time to sort of figure out who they are. But Luna, the people that she hung out with, all had shorter lives than her, so she's been through so many life cycles, but not her
Mhm.
own. Like as a kid, like her best friend grew up, became a senior citizen goblin and died around when she was just becoming an adult. So for her, she's got this really weird perspective of like, she feels like she's lived a bunch of different lives already.
Mm.
Whereas like Mayliro seems like she was stuck in this like really rigid kind of cult environment,
Mhm.
and like, yeah, it's really interesting.
Masae,
Yeah.
same question.
Oh, I mean, Kyron hasn't really gone. I mean, Kyron's been through some crap, but she also hasn't been on this journey as long as everyone else,
Mhm.
right? But like, yeah, there's been some changes. Like when she got brought in, she was very much just like, feed me and I'll help. Basically, almost like mercenary style. She didn't really have loyalty, and a big theme that I explore for Kyron, just on a back end standpoint, is that Kyron values freedom and freedom of choice more than anything else.
Hmm.
And also survival. She's been spending, I don't know, a bunch of years just like grabbing for scraps and stowing away on ships and hiding, and just hiding everywhere. Her entire life is like hiding and like trying to find her next meal, hence like her obsession with food.
Mhm.
So she very much is a character that doesn't let herself get attached, and she doesn't let herself feel any loyalty to anyone. But yeah, through Misdemeanor, and the more that she interacted with everyone here, she's kind of slowly getting a little more attached. She's still a bit tsundere about it, and she'll just like snub everyone, but like she went through her rough tumbles, and like obviously it's become about more than food now.
Mhm.
She's going through all these dangerous things, whereas before she would literally just bounce and be like, haha, dangerous, all right, you're on your own, bye-bye. And I remember that there was that one episode that I kind of highlighted that a little bit, when we all came back from the astral, and she was off on her own, and like I was thinking about it. I was just like, would she even stick around at this point? Literally, she would bounce. She would hop in the water and swim away, because she just went on the dead planet. She just went into a whole other place, because at that time they were stuck in the astral. They like, the door got closed. They had no idea how they were going to get back, and that just went against everything that she wants, that freedom of choice to leave, that freedom to
Mhm.
like leave. And I was like, yeah, Kyron would absolutely freak out at that, which is also why like she lashed out at Luna that one point, when Luna was like, we gotta stick together, loyalty, and Kyron's just like, loyalty, what's that? Y'all crazy. So yeah, she's been growing into a bit more of a loyal character, a bit more chaotic than I was expecting her to be as well. So she was always gonna be a bit of a shit stirrer, and just like, be uh rowdy and a little gremlin, but she's definitely become more of a gremlin than I had anticipated, which is just getting to know the character, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's what D&D is all about. It's just getting to know the character and learning about and evolving. Evolving as a character,
Mhm.
evolving, just kind of seeing what direction you want to go to. I think that's the beauty of D&D.
Yeah, yeah, and like this is like I've said this before, but this is my first time really experiencing a long-term campaign for D&D, and like that's one of the things that I've noticed a lot is just like the more sessions that I do with you guys, the more I'm getting to know Kyron, and she keeps getting thrown into these weird situations, and I have to think on the fly of like, oh, what would she do?
Mhm.
You know, and it's really interesting to me just to see all of our characters evolve and how they react differently to things and how they change. And it's like, I think a character that really impressed me on that front was actually Alis.
Mhm.
Because, like, yeah, Alis had that moment where he was just like, yo, did I sound like that when I first joined? I was like,
That
yeah.
was awesome. When she was like, or he was talking about the yo ho ho stuff and the pirate
Yeah.
stereotypes.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, was that
yeah.
really me?
Yeah, exactly. And like that just kind of like highlighted to me of like, yeah, there's been some huge character development over like all of these episodes, and I think it's just really neat. It's super cool.
Someone asked the question, how did she take that many deaths during the Cosmicara fight?
Oh, the like the dead bodies and stuff, like
No,
everyone
like
dropping.
yeah, no, I mean like your allies dying.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't imagine that Kyron would be a stranger to death. I mean, she's been for years. She's been going for scraps and going through like, you know, basically the sewers of whatever place she ended up in. So I would imagine that Kyron just like, even though her allies were dropping, and yeah, that's kind of a bummer, but also she knows that's just something that happens. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't imagine that it affected her that much because she didn't know them well. And again, Kyron doesn't let herself get attached.
Mm.
Now, if it was someone that she actually liked and someone that she was actually like a pirate, you know,
Uh-huh.
then she would probably like fall apart.
Mhm.
That's when the true test comes in. But when it comes to like some rando dying that she doesn't know much about, which like no shade on Tremor, but also she didn't like Tremor very much.
Mhm.
Luna really didn't
Doesn't.
like Trim.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just like, oh, you know, another one bites the dust. Ha ha.
Okay. Yeah, Shane, same question with Zahani. 'Cause I feel like
What
Zahani's
was the
been-
question? I missed the beginning.
like what how did you perceive your character when they first started, and how do you think your character has changed up to this point?
At the starting mentality, when I first made Zahani, I'd say he's stuck pretty much the same, but mentally he's changed a lot, especially right now. He's in a spot where he's definitely scared to get close to people because bad things are happening to the people he cares about.
Mhm.
Twice now, first with Levin and then with Tremor, so he probably feels like he's cursed in a sense, especially after the things he's learned about himself.
Uh-huh.
And even if it's not him himself doing the things hurting these people, it's just his presence that's doing it in his
Mhm.
mind. But he wants to find the others like him, and he needs all the help he can get finding them. It's kind of, he's scared. I'll just say that much.
Yep. He's a little scared change.
Yeah. He doesn't know what to do. But he's also afraid to ask or get too close.
That's fair. Or Zahani, traumatized. But that makes for the best characters, Rings hands.
Yes, tear him apart.
Do you guys, well, we're still waiting for Dodger. Dodger's taking care of Clarky. Do you guys have any questions for me? Whether it is about people that you've encountered, or refreshers on events that have happened, or just things that you're just generally inquisitive of that has recently passed that I can kind of like shed some light.
Misdemeanor's your favorite campaign, right, Brett?
Yeah.
Right, Brett?
At this
Favorite child, right?
between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. EST on Saturdays, Misdemeanor is my favorite campaign.
It's his favorite pirate campaign.
I see. I see. Specifically in that time slot, correct?
Specifically in that time slot. That is correct.
I see.
Yep. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Any other questions, though?
Is the interface that you use with like Roll20 and everything, like how similar does the mapping feel to say like RPG Maker type stuff?
Well, I use Dungeon Painter Studio to make maps, so it's kind of similar a little bit, but instead of like actual tilers, there's also like giant objects that you can go ahead and place down and things like that. So it's while it's simple, it's still like tiles, but also stamps though.
Oh, cool.
What I mean is, like, do you guys have any like lore question or like history of the world of
Not that I even
IO?
know of, because you've done a good job, like, explaining everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've done a great job. And it's like if I asked anything like that, it would be like spoilers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you if I'll
I'll
tell you if I can answer it or not.
Well, no,
I
it's
could
not
use
that.
a
It's
bit of a
like
refresher on who the deep one is.
So the deep one how to describe the deep one? The deep one is sort of this like entity of pirate, specifically of pirate lore, right? Where people imagine it as this terrible creature that pirates talk about when it comes to the deep one, of just ships that are like either a giant like kraken or octopus or some kind of sea creature that devours pirates and tears down ships and things like that. So the deep one is just sort of like this dark presence that exists within the sea. No one actually has seen the deep one, but there's theories of what the deep one could be. So for example, when you guys went out to actually get like the eggs of the deep one, to get the children of the deep one, and you're kind of seeing these like octopus / kraken like things, it's very easy to assume that the deep one must be some giant fearful kraken that can easily devour and destroy. But it's become more revealed, especially in other campaigns, a little bit in the Misdemeanor as well, is the deep one isn't a specific creature, but a name given to an entity or presence that specifically lives within the shadow. So the deep one is not their name, but a name that is given by pirate lore to this, essentially the shadow lord that lives within the shadow veil itself. So, and that the deep one actually has been seen a couple of times in the IO campaigns already. And so it was revealed a few sessions back to Armstrong that the quote unquote deep one is in fact the spirit of Levin, who somehow at the beginning of IO's time, which you guys don't know much about in this campaign, was separated from Levin's vessel into the shadow. So this quote unquote deep one is the soul of Levin that has become, as the this magi is explained, twisted and mentally warped and morphed into an insane entity. And obviously this creature has a lot of power because, again, the fact that there is lore of the deep one and pirates talk about the deep one itself and the concept of the deep one, and also considering the fact that it's the spirit of Levin, and Levin, who is already a very powerful individual in his own right, and not even at maximized power, the deep one is a threat. Is not only a threat to pirates, but a threat to IO in general.
So when we were talking with Levin, was he just pretending to be nice, and why was he trying to fight himself? I think that's the part I got confused about.
Well, that's the thing, is Levin doesn't know who the deep one is. And that's that. There's still, those are questions that are not known about, because Levin himself, yes, was a kind individual, and then you have the deep one who lives in the shadow. Whether Levin actually knows of the deep one or the identity of the deep one, unfortunately, is unknown at this time. Levin is Levin's dead now. So whether Levin knows about the deep one or not is unfortunately uncertain and is going to be unwritten at this point.
Hi.
So,
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Hello. We were doing.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. Everything okay? You're good?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I don't know how long this is going to last. My kid is definitely, like, really sick.
Oh no.
baby.
So, not like, she's not, like, vomiting or anything, but, like, I don't think that she's gonna be able to sleep very well. So I might have to, like, step away more than I normally would.
Well, I think we're at a point here that was about to be asked and revealed of what you guys want to do, and then we can literally wrap up the session at that point in time. It'd be a good stopping
Okay,
point.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's
okay.
fine.
Oh,
It's,
totally fine.
take care of Babu. We make sure that
Yeah.
Babu's
She's
okay.
not feeling well.
So, are you ready to
Okay,
continue?
So what did I miss?
You didn't miss much. Masay, what was the last things that were talked about after Dodger left? Do you remember?
Basically it went straight into like, how do we get to the shadow?
Right.
Like, how do we pull someone out?
Like, how do you pull someone out? Exactly.
Yeah.
I think there was a little bit of talk about the shadow and the dangers of that, and yeah.
Yeah.
So, the Magi is quiet and thinks for a moment and kind of looks at the hut. And he just kind of just is like, well, you really wish to get into the shadow to rescue your friends, then the only way that I know to get back, and he'll look up at the hut, is to take you there myself.
Oh.
And that would be an us thing, pointing to the hut. As far as retrieving your friends, simply pulling them out of the shadow is one thing. You may have to hunt them down in the Shadow Veil itself. And while I am a great and powerful Magi with unlimited power and intense possibilities, and all in all a charismatic character, he'll then drop his arms down to his side. I am not actively looking to go back there. And while it is unfortunate to say, your two friends being taken into the shadow is not enough for me to risk mine and my brother's life. He'll sit back down to the chair.
Could you send us to Asmodia?
Asmodia? What business do you have there in the coal capital?
That's where I believe they are, in the Shadow Veil, but overlapping Asmodia.
Well, you still have a problem. You would still have to get into the shadow.
But at least then they would be closer. I don't know.
Veils themselves should know. You're a talented young magician yourself. The physical distance is not important. It's about the method of transportation. For example, if you're telling me your friends were taken through the shadow, were your friends in Asmodia?
No.
No, they weren't. Kind of holds up his like cloth-covered hand at that point in time. Absolutely, they were not. So, he kind of taps the crystal a little bit. You'd have to find another way to get to the shadow. Teleport yourself, track your friends. But the spirits themselves, twisted prisoners of their own undoing, they're not going to make it easy for you.
So there's no direction you can point us in. There's no one else.
You know how to do it, so why don't you just tell us?
It's not a matter of simply telling you and then you mix a potion together, drink it, and boom, you're in the shadow. You need to have the power, the capability. You need to have the attunement. You need to have the bloodline. You need to be, and then he holds out his clothed arms, shadow. So, he sinks back in his chair, and you kind of see his arm cover over his face. He seems to be conflicted. A thorough persuasion or argument may be made at this point to push him in a direction that they do not seem comfortable.
Alis would grit his teeth and look at Luna and say, "We can't expect him to risk his family in order to save ours. It doesn't make sense."
Is this the only way?
Silence falls over the room.
At the same time, it sounds like this is bigger than just getting our friends back. This Deep One is looking for a vessel. And if he gets a vessel and comes back to Io, that's bad news for everyone, isn't it? Including you.
She looks at the Magi.
Roll a persuasion check at advantage.
Oh, buddy. Hell yeah.
Nice, hell yes.
Magi will ponder for a moment. And... all right, then. I'll entertain this possibility. Tell me, what do you think you can do, then, about the Deep One? Does Kyra not respond?
Wait. I thought that was directed at everyone in general.
Oh,
but
no,
if
directed at you. You're the one that's like,
Oh, God.
we
all
could
right.
save it, yeah. So what do you think you are going to be able to do about the Deep One?
For one, we'll get the vessel out of his reach. And for two, I don't know, kill him.
We could beat him up. We are good at that. Elbows Kyron.
I see. And, this, Deep One. What do you know of it? The name
Connected
is
to the
dramatic
water.
enough.
He has a connection to water, to depth. We know that it can create progeny. We have one.
An individual
We know
that has
that
already
it's
influenced
old.
the world. So it is a powerful shadow. That's what you'll say?
If that's what it is, then yes.
We're also a powerful crew.
Well, as cold as it sounds, whether you live or die makes no difference to me. However, I do feel it would be prudent to let you know that yes, it would be possible return to take you to the shadow. But you may not return. Are you willing to take that chance? Stuck in the shadow for the remainder of your lives, in a desperate attempt to save two people and to defeat a great evil. Are you ready to make that sacrifice?
Yes, I do
Yes.
not see a sacrifice for that. We are helping them.
He shakes his head a little bit. You're helping them. But are you ready to forge your life out in the shadow for the rest of your days, surrounded by prisoners of insanity?
If we do not, then they will be.
His head looks over at Zahani, the hood turning over to the rest of you.
These people are the most important people in my life. I'm not going to abandon them. If I didn't try, I'd rather be dead, to be honest.
Luna looks over at Alis and nods. Me too.
Kyron, who was full of confidence, locks up.
Kyron's the one who's like, yeah, we'll kill that bitch.
No, the word stuck got mentioned, and now she's like,
Alis, I think, would probably notice that she's like, and with probably like the softest expression he's ever really given her, he would touch her arm and say, "You don't have to go. I wouldn't fault you for it."
Kyron thinks for a moment, but she doesn't slap him away. She doesn't yank her arm away. She just kind of looks back and heaves a sigh and shrugs.
Pirate family, right? Never had a good one, so protect what you got.
What does Alis do?
He would nod and look back at the Magi. Sounds like we're in agreement.
Fools, all of you, he says. He gets up and then goes over to this bookcase. All right. Much as I would hate to admit it, you actually make some feasible arguments. And although I have no problem just staying here in an altered reality for the rest of my days, living a life of peace, I suppose it would be non-gentlemanlike of me if the world that we've been hopping around, be devastated by a location of great torment and trauma for me. I suppose a little giving back will do. Very well then. Just for the record, you are sentencing yourselves to death. But I suppose I can help you get there. For a price. And then he grabs a book from the bookshelf and then walks back over here, sitting back on the chair. Obviously, this is not a transaction of my own benefit, but something that I need, well, we need, if we're going to safely travel and make the journey. And hopefully have myself and my brother come back as well. And I suppose, if you're not entirely too slow about it, you and your friends can come back with us, and I may be able to take you back to Io.
Kyron grins big with her shark teeth.
But we're going to need more power. Oh, yes. Yes, we are. Opening the tome, he reveals what appears to be two crystals of pure energy. One, a crystal of light, appears to be completely faded. Another, a pure crystal of this purple void, still brimming with energy. I was only able to do this twice. And the first time I did this, it got us out of a tricky predicament. So I suppose the second should be for something just as foolish. And then you see his head kind of like lurch up a little bit over to Alis. And when I hold this crystal, pointing over to Alis, something about you gives it deja vu. I'm curious what that means. Well-
Alis will have kind of a confused expression.
He shrugs a little bit. Fascinating. Well, maybe you'll remember this. And if you do, you must tell me. So, he closes the book, placing it down to his side, and now holding this crystal of pure void energy. I have in my possession 2 very powerful memories that I've collected. One of them has been completely expended to help myself and my brother escape another reality of Atlas with a very loud halfling. He grumbles a little bit. But this...
Eyebrow.
And, unfortunately, it did expend that memory. So now that memory, well, belongs to them. But I think this will help us get to where we need to go. You see, we are able to travel using the powers of memories, of experiences, of life-altering battles that ensued of heroes of all space and time. And this one's a doozy. This won't be like other fights that you've been before. This one was a fight of great paramount. My friends, if you survive this, you're going to witness the death of a god. You see,
Oh my god.
you may not know this before, but 500 years ago, 8 silly people went ahead and fought, well, I suppose 9, but the books say 8, fought against a god of light and a god of darkness. I believe you called them Div and Void. And while I had already given the memory of Div to the previous band of vagabonds to escape an unfortunate and perilous situation, you, my friends, holds up the crystal, will experience the fight against the memory of Void. So tell me, are you ready to fight a god?
Technically, I already did.
What?
I guess I wasn't really a god, but I mean, it might as well have been.
This is quite literally the entire god of Void of your reality of Io.
Meh. Nothing surprises me anymore.
If
You'll
it
get
was
to-
beaten once, we can beat it again.
Potentially. It took great heroes to fight off against this one, though. You're telling me that you feel ready for it? This is the way into the shadow, after all.
Can we take a nap first?
What?
Yes, that might be a good idea.
Yeah.
How is
Nap.
Yes, of course, you can go ahead and
Hey,
rest.
Hut, can I take a nap here? Thank you.
The hat kind of like looks up, the head looks up a little bit, and it's just like, all right then. Yes, I suppose you can rest here if you need to. Entire street, a completely abandoned city, but you decide to rest in my hut. But, very well. Once you're fully rested, I shall charge up and take you into the Vale of Memories, where you're going to fight off against Void itself. You all feel ready? Are you all ready for this?
I like that you said y'all and then you were like,
Y'all.
wait a minute. Hold on. Alis would look at Luna. Is there anyone else we could bring? Sounds daunting.
I mean, we could go back to our old ship and try to
Darling.
see.
Oh. He's gonna like run outside the hut and step like right next to Manda. Say, how do I send a message to someone from here?
What message are you looking for?
I need to contact Sterling, one of the other people who came here with me.
Sterling. Describe them to me.
He was average height, old. He was an old man.
Would you
bard.
consider him a pretty boy, yet very old?
I suppose.
I see. Yes, there is an individual by that name here. Kept complaining about a man named Braun over and over and over. I think I know
Yes,
who you're talking
that's
about.
him. Can you help me send him a message? Do I do that through you?
I can go ahead and reach out, sure. Sterling actually has been here several times. Won't be long until they return, I'd imagine. I can simply tell them, I can simply call them for you.
All right. Can you tell him, in whatever way it is that you do it, that we might be fighting or refighting the void battle that he did on the day when his companions vanished? And ask if he would be willing to help us in some way.
Yeah, I believe I can do that, sure.
I'll nod.
And then she'll nod back. Consider it done.
All right. And he'll kind of like awkwardly stand there for a second, then just go back inside. And he'll say, all right, Manda is going to attempt to contact Sterling. He was in that fight, right? So he should, at the very least, have knowledge that will help us.
Huh?
But
And then you'll see the Magi
You're
look
right.
into the crystal. The bard?
yes, Sterling.
He thinks to the Magi thinks to himself for a second. So the memory of the battle, bringing the actual person into a memory that they've already experienced.
I don't know that he would want to do that, but at the very least, he would know what it's like, prepare us a little.
Could be satisfied. All right, then. If you'd like to wait for this Sterling individual, it seems that your friends here are getting a rest, kind of like motioning back over to, over to Kyron and, yeah.
Pile on the bed.
Karen gives a thumbs up and rolls around in the blankets and burritos herself.
I suppose we have time anyways. Even though that we are running out of it.
Alis would look at Luna again. Should we let Nicholas know, or
I mean,
we don't
I'm
know how
sure he'd
long we're
wanna
going to be gone?
Yo, what about Malcolm?
Malcolm. Yeah, I think that if we have the chance, we should probably let them know. I mean, I say they, but Nicholas, I wouldn't know he doesn't care about us. But yeah. Can we go back? Is that an option?
That's an option. You're always free to go back.
I think we probably should.
Very well, then. I do have some preparation I need to make for the memory anyways. Do what you need to do, then. And when you come back, a memory shall be waiting for you.
So are we going back to an inn then? Not staying here?
That would be wise. Looks back at you.
Kyron hops out of the bed but keeps the blanket burritoed around her, and she just kind of walks with the blanket.
Oh, yes. Go ahead and take my things, why don't you? All right. So, anything else you guys say, do, or plan?
I think Alis would leave. Oh, I don't know how much of like a house battle there's been. Yeah, wait a second. Anything new over at this fucking place?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the door has been blasted open again.
No, wait. Okay, Kyron's gonna
no.
call Alis.
Not leaving my papers in there then.
Kyron's gonna poke her head in. What's new? What's new inside?
What is this place?
I'm trying to remember again. It's
It
back and
ruined our
forth, back and forth.
house. We made
Yeah.
a really nice door.
So the same thing that happened before seemed to have happened again. The bag of gold is missing. You see a crumpled up note on the floor.
What does the note say?
It was the note that Leighton wrote.
Oh.
How rude.
It looks like someone, it's just crumpled on the ground. But the gold is missing.
Huh.
Yo, can you fix this door? We need to put a lock on this.
Can I mend the door?
You can do the same thing you did before if you'd like.
Okay, I'm gonna mend this door, and is there some way we can put some kind of like protective spell or some kind of like rig a trap? Dude, let's rig a trap, Kyron. Like, they're gonna come back again, and goblins aren't very smart. I mean,
Hell yeah.
I think we should rig some kind of a trap.
How do you know it's a goblin?
Yo, it might have been Kua.
Why would he have blasted his own door down, though? Because we didn't lock it. I mean, would the turtle
Right,
have blown up the door?
If you're looking for there's a second level spell called Arcane Lock if you are looking for a lock spell.
Huh.
Oh, I don't think I have access to that.
I know that.
You know that?
Ooh.
Hey, Zahani, do you want to be roommates with us?
What is a roommate?
Roommate means we all live in this house.
Kyron points at the house.
But aren't we leaving?
Yeah, but you know, you have a base of operations. You go there, you put your stuff in it, and it's safe, or supposed to be safe.
She glares at the blasted open door.
It's fun. You can collect things and put them here, and then you can like hang out. And have you ever had a sleepover?
Well, actually, no, I remember last time I had a room, I lit it on fire.
Oh, please don't light this on fire, but
Yeah.
you can still stay.
Okay.
Can I do a perception check to see if I can glean like what happened or like who did this?
All you know is the door has been broken into. It seemed to have been
Oh.
in the same fashion that was broken in before.
Then it's probably goblins. Okay, I'll mend the door.
Okay, once again, the door has been mended.
Can we get a lock on this? Zahani, can you make a lock?
Yes, I can lock it. I could lock it with a word that we can say as well, so we can all go in.
Amazing.
What word do we want?
What word do we want?
Hmm. Pirates are the best.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Pirates are the
I like
best.
that. Okay, that is now the word we will say. I cast
Amazing.
Arcane Lock.
All right. The door is fortified, both physically as well as through a magical lock needs. The door is now locked.
Pirates are the best.
You hear the sound of a door unlocking.
Pirates are the best.
You hear the sound of a door lock.
It works.
I feel better
Kyron
now.
carves her name on the door again. Poorly.
Why are you breaking the door?
I'm putting my name on it.
I do not know how to spell my name. I cannot help.
You want a symbol? I can make you a symbol.
I want that.
Okay, what kind of symbol do you like?
Make it a smiling face.
Okay.
Pulls.
Luna does a smiling face for Zahani and then does the moon symbol for herself.
I like the idea that Zahani's just a D&D ditto.
Oh my god!
Can you make a meat leg for me again?
Well, what?
Can you make a meat leg for me again?
I definitely can. Luna like adds the little meat leg again.
Yay.
So it's like a meat leg, a moon, and a smiley face.
Wait, I'll write your names too.
And
Oh.
she writes it like that, and then
Zahani, this is how you spell your name.
All,
That's how you
all-
spell it.
all right. The changes have been made to the house.
Remember how to spell your name, okay?
I will try.
All right. So, with that, the house has been defaced and claimed once again. You are going to try and attempt to reach out to Sterling to try and get some more information. But on the next session of the Misdemeanor, it sounds like that you'll be fighting off against the Battle of the Void, specifically the one that happened 500 years ago. Using this battle, you're hoping to empower the hut, which will allow you access to the shadow that you may attempt to hunt down and look for your fellow Captain Dads. So with that, that will end today's session of the Misdemeanor.
Yay!
I like the fact that if we do get Sterling, we have 3 of the 4 people who were there for the void fight.
Yeah.
Yo, you should get Spud. You should get Spud's kobold in there as well. He's got a little treehouse he's building. Just bring out the whole gang again.
I was gonna say that it would be tight if Sterling showed up and brought Dookie.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yes, so you will actually be engaging in the same mechanical fight that you guys fought in the
God.
offline
I
campaign.
still remember all of it.
Wait, is
Do
this
you? God, I don't.
Yeah.
from or?
I remember all the
I'm-
phases.
I'm sorry?
This was.
Oh, is this the battle that they died from?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh
The
my
very end.
god.
Quotation marks.
We beat it, but we died at the very end.
Oh my gosh.
Except Sterling.
Yeah, well,
And then you found out you didn't die. You were just taken away to a different reality.
Uh,
Amazing.
Good times. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a fun today. Good good session.
I do have a question. Does Zahani and Alis have the memories of this fight?
No.
So this is something that they don't.
Exactly.
Okay.
I assume you don't have to confirm this, but I assume that he said what he said because Wazy was radiant.
He said what he said because you have the memory of Wazy.
Oh, but then why wouldn't he say that to Zahani as well?
Oh well, Zahani was, I believe at the time, sleeping, and he was also talking to Alis about it.
All
so.
right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I thought because he had the 2 crystals and what I assume was
Oh,
a
yeah,
radiant
yeah.
energy crystal was empty. I thought that he was saying this crystal is reacting to you, and I was like, it's probably because Wazy was radiant.
Oh, I probably could have explained that better. So.
It's all good.
Brett, can I add Magi's blanket to my inventory?
Yes, you can.
Yes. Nice.
God, say you're such a little shit starter.
What?
I love
what
it.
did I do?
She's gonna be such a
not
bad
me,
influence
it's
for Zahani.
Kyron.
All good. It's not me. It's not me.
It's not me. It's Kyron.
Okay.
Alright?
Magi blanket. I will make it a 2-pound blanket.
Yay!
There you go. I've added it to your inventory.
Yay! I'm
Nice.
so excited.
It's got a bunch of stars on it and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun.
Hooray!
Hooray.
Hooray!
All right, I added it. Yep, there it is. I see it. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, the Magi hasn't really had much good luck with Ghostwise halflings. A above board thing that happened. Zarina's character Nisa in the mainframe of Atlas / Radiance campaign / All King group began insulting the hut. The hut took it personally and took them to another floating continent of Atlas, specifically the ones that you guys were in at the last offline campaign.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
Oh no.
And they had to fight Div to get home. Like the Div memory.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's why that's already been expended.
Gotcha.
So, and then once you do this, there's no more big, powerful memories. Or at least not yet. Not until they've been created. Fan art time! Wahoo!
Woohoo! Fan art.
Fan art! Yep. We got this one. We're starting over here.
Oh my goodness.
Missing Leighton. And there's Kyron just holding a sandwich.
Holding a sandwich.
Yo, cheer up. What's he gonna do? Adopt another sorcerer?
God. Oh no.
Meanwhile, in the shadow, by the way, he has adopted another sorcerer. Sorry about that. This
I
No.
can't believe this.
this is
We're
Bryn.
so easily replaced.
This is Bryn, also a young man who is trapped in the shadow and a sorcerer that he's currently taking care of as well. Yeah, I didn't even
Oh
make
my
that
God.
connection. That's hilarious. Holy God. Oh, so good.
Adopt another sorcerer.
So good.
No.
Junker, thank you so much for that. Hey, cluck, cluck, cluck.
What? Oh my god.
Cluck, cluck. Thank you, Lamia. Thank you. Yo, you graduated.
Yay.
The cart-
Honor
Aw.
mentee, baby.
Smart.
So good. So good. Fortunately, Kyron ended up getting their uppies after all.
Yay! Oh, that's a thrash though.
The uppies are getting intense. Angie Kyron, I'm 30.
Old Kyron.
And this is nice. I like this one. Arya drawing the heads of everyone of the misdemeanor
Aw.
Oh.
and how they would have their names and what fonts they would use.
My name is Wingdings or whatever.
It's
I love
Wingdings.
it. I love that your name is Wingdings. That's so good.
All right, well, guys, thank you so much. We'll continue next week with the
Yay.
old offline void battle. I'm very excited.
Oh my
Amazing.
God.
And that's the thing. I'm not changing a thing. Pretty much, it's gonna be same map,
Amazing.
same music, same.
Did you have it like written down so you have it all?
Oh, it's still in the old Roll20 game. I mean, the Roll20 game's still there.
sick.
I'm just gonna move.
Can
I'm
we
just gonna
get
move it all
prepped
over.
by the people that like battled? Like, is it okay if Dodger tells us anything, or is it we have to go into a completely blind?
Well, I mean, Dodger doesn't remember any of it, so it's all
yeah,
I do,
just
but
admitted
that's
that I
that's why I
don't
asked if
remember shit.
Zahani would remember, because now I can't like.
I
see
would
what
be
happens.
I would be surprised if you remembered everything, because I definitely don't remember all the mechanics. I do remember.
I do. I am gonna have
I
to
d-
ask you one thing that was a pivotal like change in one of the phases. I'll have
Gotcha.
to DM you those to ask if Zahani would remember it. 'cause I
Oh,
don't wanna
okay.
spoil
Yeah,
the
I'm
fight.
scared.
the
If
thing.
this is what killed them all. My
I
God.
remember this the way that Wazy remembers it, which was I hit and then I hit and then I hit and then I hit and then I hit.
Uh-huh. Those are all
That-
things that happen. Those
that
are all things that
brute
happen.
fighter life with a weapon that eliminated void.
Yep. It
I
did
hit,
maximum damage always.
And then I hit and then I hit. A broken old lady.
What level were you guys when you fought? the
10,
battle?
weren't we?
I think so.
I think
Oh,
we
that
were all
worked
10. I
out.
think
Pretty
10 was
shuffled.
max in the offline.
That's correct. It was a 10th level fight.
Oh man.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you all next week. Okay.
Yay, okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. I hope you guys had fun. Thank you so much for watching. I would like to go ahead and thank everyone for watching and supporting, and special thanks to everyone who has supported our Patreon. Ladies and gentlemen, you can get on over to the Patreon and get MP3s of the campaigns, a variety of maps, all the maps that have been made for the campaigns, as well as a documentation for for all the boss fights that you have seen over in this. Consider supporting the Patreon today. I also want to give a big shout out to Why Not Gemology, Little Panda, Twitching Pickle, Baker Staunch, Chaos King 1236, Starter Pack, Eagle Wolf, Germsby, Wiry Traveler, and Con Air on DVD. Consider supporting the Patreon today, and everyone that has supported the Patreon. This allows me to do D&D full time, so consider supporting it. If you'd like to go ahead and join our community, head on over to the IO Discord. We've got great channels such as the Rules Lawyers, the fan art channel, as well as a D&D LFG. So if you're looking for a D&D group, I know people are constantly looking for D&D groups over in the channel. Head on over there and check it out. If this is your first time watching IO campaign, welcome. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/worldofio, where all of the IO sessions from day one, well over a year ago, has been uploaded. So you can check out all the sessions, all the lore and history. For example, in the All Kings session where they fought off against Div, you can see their interactions with the Magi. And yeah, go ahead and check that out. And follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/BrettUltimus. And let me go ahead and take an opportunity to thank all of our subscribers. If you have a Twitch Prime sub and you haven't subscribed to anyone with it, consider subscribing to this channel. You get a bunch of great raccoon-themed emotes, and it helps me out, supports me out. Thank you so much to our subscribers today. Switzerland Otters with the Prime sub for a whole year. MasaeAnela with the 5 gifted subs. Ektrix with the tier 1 sub for 4 months, and Dr. Jean with the tier 1 sub for 16 months. Thank you very much for all of that. Greatly appreciated. I'm going to be off tomorrow. I'll be back on Monday with the next session of Nova Hellscape. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.